Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. On today's episode, this is a really nice episode. This is the first time that Darrell is gonna match up against an expert, and the lack of knowledge and ignorance on his part on all those questions is astounding. So it's gonna be great. But before that, I just want to apologize for the last video audio. As you guys know, my old microphone died, so I'm getting used to this new one and getting the right volume, as well as the video. That was an oversight on my part, and I truly apologize. But I also want to say thank you to people who are taking the chance to do a super chat, to click the link on the description and get me a coffee, which are donations that help the channel, and I put them directly back to the channel. Like these likes that I have in front of me, the microphone, this new computer that I'm building, all that money goes straight to the channel so I can give you guys better videos, better audio, and all of that. So thank you so much for that. But after that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for subscribing, giving a like to the video, commenting. All of that helps the channel, and I love to hear about you. All right, let's get into the video because it's dumb.
Please call your next witness.
State calls Detective Mike Carpenter.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will have you do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Michael Carpenter, first name spelled Michael, last name spelled Carpenter.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Detective, what do you do for a living?
I'm a detective with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you been a detective?
I've been a detective for approximately 12 years.
How long total in service with the Waukesha Police Department?
Approximately 20 years.
Is that your first job, Waukesha Police Department?
I worked a brief stint for about 6 months each at the Town of Brookfield Police Department part-time and the Town of Merton Lake Patrol part-time before moving on to the City of Waukesha.
What is your current assignment as a detective?
I'm in the computer forensics unit.
What type of things do you do in that unit?
Analyze digital data, digital video recorders, cell phones, regular computers, pretty much anything that can hold digital media.
Okay. So the thing about Detective Carpenter right now is that he's a very technical person. So while what you're gonna about to hear is a ton of buzzwords or keywords, I guess, about the business, and I understand them. I was really mesmerized by all the things that he knows. He's a very not a very intelligent person that he knows his work. So it's great to hear him.
Did you conduct a speed analysis in this case?
Yes, I did.
Can you walk us through when you set out to conduct a speed analysis? First of all, what is it, and how do you go about conducting that analysis?
Basically, throughout reviewing video for this incident, we wanted to determine if there was a way to get an accurate speed from the red SUV. I've been through some training, certified as an input ACE examiner. That's a software we use. And we determined that there were cameras that existed along the parade route on West Main Street that may have held useful information. Specifically, we were looking for surveillance video that was still in its native proprietary format, that would still hold that metadata that would let us conduct a speed analysis. I did locate Bosco Social Club, which is a bar located at 260 West Main Street in the city of Waukesha, that had a proprietary format that I believe that let us do that analysis.
How many cameras were affixed to the Bosco?
Like that statement, like the whole thing that he said right now is basically just, we found a video that helped us measure the speed that the driver was going. That's basically what he said.
Those storefront.
There were two, one on the southwest side of the building and one on the southeast, at least that we used. I believe they also have video inside and towards the rear of the establishment, but we were concerned with the cameras facing West Main Street.
So once you get the surveillance video, what do you do with it?
I viewed the video to determine if it would be suitable. The video was, in my opinion, pretty high quality. I could see the vehicle clearly traveling westbound on West Main Street, so we believe that we'd be able to explore that further and try to conduct the analysis from that.
So what did you do?
The next step was we had to determine what an accurate frame rate was for the camera. Most surveillance systems have what's called a variable frame rate. In defining a frame, basically a video is a series of still images or frames put together to show motion. However, that can vary from frame to frame. That timing may not be exactly the same. We went down to Bosco's and placed a device in front of each camera called a VFR light board that's supplied and calibrated by the company InputAce. We placed it in front of each camera, and that board's got a series of flashing lights that have timing in them. Recorded a video of that board from each camera, and then returned to my forensic lab and placed that into the InputAce software, and we were able to calculate the timing more accurately between each frame, so we had a more scientific approach to it.
Yeah, like I said, this is very technical. Like I have trouble keeping up because that's not my thing. I work more on the server side of things. I'm an IT guy, but I don't do that. But what he said was we use our equipment to measure the speed of the video. Like this video is being recorded at 60 frames per second. So it's 60 images per second that you watch the video. But in cameras, they sometimes record at 30, 24, 40, depending on what they're looking at. So that's what he means by variable. So they use a tool to calibrate that speed to the video. It's so interesting to me.
What did you do with that information?
Once I had that information, let me back up. Prior to having that information, I had also asked Specialist Plata of our Criminal Evidence Forensics Unit, our traditional forensics, to respond to the area of Bosco's and use the department's, it's called FARO, F-A-R-O, their 3D laser crime scene mapping device. They mapped various points in front of Bosco's, and we were able to basically find the orientation, the position that the eastbound camera was facing. And then once that was done, we could take a screenshot of that 3D scan, which measures, my understanding is millions of points. Once I had that done, I was able to bring that into InputAce software to begin the overlay process where I could overlay the images on top of each other. So we brought the screenshot of the 3D scan in, brought a partial video in of the red SUV traveling westbound. It began to compare points from the 3D scan and the video. It began to plot those points. For instance, a intersecting crack in the sidewalk. If I could see it in the 3D scan, I would plot that point and then match it up in the video. Did that over a number of points, and then that enables us to lay the video identically on top of the 3D scan. Once that was complete, then that's where we started bringing in the lightboard video to find out the timing, to find out how many milliseconds or seconds passed in this incident. In this particular video, I was concerned with frames 35 through 60 of that vehicle traveling westbound. Once I obtained the timing from the VFR lightboard, I determined that, with the assistance of the software, that the average was 0.834 seconds had passed in those 25 frames that that vehicle, or I'm sorry, 26 frames that that vehicle continued westbound. What that does, it then gives me a low end and a high end that I can use for a margin of error. So it said the longest time it would take for the vehicle to travel westbound through those 26 frames would be 0.838 seconds, and the quickest time that it could pass through those 26 frames would be 0.830 seconds. Okay. Once I had that information, I was able to completely overlay the video onto the 3D scan, and I could start at frame 35, and it enables me to overlay it within the 3D scanning software, and I was able to drop a small point. The clearest point of reference in this view, as there were people around and other things in the area, I was able to pick the front passenger's wheel and drop a point directly in the center of that wheel, advance frame by frame until I was at frame 60, drop another point, and then I can use a slider to go back and forth to either have the vehicle present or just the 3D scanning. Once I had just the 3D scanning, then I could take and measure the distance from that first point in frame 35 to the last point in frame 60. And then I was able to calculate that, I was able to input that in with the different measurements of 0.838 seconds and the 0.830. When I did that within the software, it told me that the distance was 12.7477 meters. When I converted that to feet, I believe it was 41.8231 feet. That allowed me to compare that with the fastest that the vehicle could travel and the slowest that the vehicle could travel. And with the margin of error, convert that to feet per second and then miles per hour, which came up with a measurement for those 26 frames of 33.7 to 34.6 miles per hour in those particular frames.
Okay, all that he said, it was basically he used the technology to recreate the scene on 3D. Like he made a virtual environment of that. And then with another tool, he overlaid the video with the 3D environment. And then he was able to recreate what was going on in a virtual environment, right? So with all that, all the measurements, all the calculations, he established that he was between 33 and 34 miles per hour. That was the average speed with a margin of error. That was the average speed of Darrell. So it was going really fast. That's what the whole thing that comes out. I find it so interesting and fascinating how experts can do that.
Okay. Can we project for the witness and for the jury exhibit number 15, which has previously been received and published?
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you recognize the area on the map depicted in exhibit 15?
Yes, it's the 5 Points intersection area of downtown Waukesha.
The screen in front of you is a touch screen. Could you just draw a small little X to depict where the approximate location of Bosco's is?
I believe it's going to be roughly right about here.
So north side of Main Street?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't think we need to save that. We'll just say it's an X between the 5 Points intersection and Gasper Street on Main. So we'll clear that and take that down. And now can we please project for the witness and for the jury exhibit number 31, which I think that's also been received and published. And it has, yep. Okay, you see the screen in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Is this the video from Bosco's that you have been talking about today?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start at about the 10-second timestamp. Now you were talking about 26 frames, I think you said?
Yes.
Okay. Let's slow this down to about 50%, please. And we'll play from this point.
Darrell's gonna object to the speed that is being shown because that's not the correct speed, remember?
9 seconds.
Sorry, yes, 9 seconds. Pause. We have paused at 16 seconds. So you're basically measuring what? Walk us through the screen here. What are you measuring?
So as soon as the red SUV came into view of the video traveling westbound, Once I had a frame where there was no obstruction, I could see the full passenger side tire. That's where I dropped my first point, and then I let the SUV continue westbound until I found another spot where there was no obstruction. Now, when I overlaid it between the 3D software and the video I have here, during this video there's no foliage on the branches. During the 3D scan there is foliage, so that blocked a little bit, so I had to stop a little earlier than what I wanted. But I was just basically measuring how far that SUV or that wheel traveled during those frames in that amount of time.
Okay, so you're measuring distance and time,
Yes.
and from that you're calculating speed.
Yes.
And you've already talked about the different variables that you took into consideration, right?
Yes.
And that resulted in, what's your ultimate conclusion?
33.7 to 34.6 miles per hour.
And the 26 frames that you're talking about, they are in this video?
Yes.
Okay, let's just play from the 16-second mark. Pause. And we've stopped at the 17-second mark. So the 26 frames are entirely within that 9 second to 17 seconds.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
That was a very efficient, very logical. We have our expert here. He knows what he's doing. He used the software to do it. It shouldn't take a long time to cross-examine this witness, this expert. But let's see someone who knows nothing about anything handles this.
Thank you. Go ahead, cross.
Very, very briefly.
Very, very briefly. We are at 16 minutes, 17 minutes in the video. Let's see how long that takes.
You stated earlier that in reference to traveling through frames that sometimes you may encounter problems with the estimation. Would that be fair to say?
No, I don't believe that was my testimony.
No, he never said that.
You testified to at one point or another that sometimes exact timing of speed could be a little inaccurate.
No, I don't believe that properly characterizes.
The officer is like, no, I never said that. What are you talking about? You're trying to twist my words like you do with everyone else.
What were you referring to at that?
I was referring to that digital video recording systems, surveillance systems, they use something that's called variable frame rate. I can't say that every single one does, but almost all of them do. That from frame to frame, it could change by a millisecond, hundreds of milliseconds. To do this the most accurate scientific way possible, that's why we conducted it the way we did with the variable frame rate board.
So there can be sometimes miscalculations. Is that fair to say?
I don't believe so in the way we performed it, no.
No, he's not saying that. He's trying to say that the recording camera sometimes has some variable thing, but they use a tool to remove that margin of error. So it's irrelevant.
Well, I was referring to the process in general, which you just stated that sometimes by milliseconds, hundreds of milliseconds, a millisecond, that sometimes there can be miscalculation.
I'm not sure I'm completely understanding the question. Are you asking in this specific example or just in general?
The process in general.
Somebody conducting an analysis a completely different way, it's possible, but in this analysis from my training experience is the most scientifically possible way we can do it.
And before this occasion, had you used the same method that you used for this occasion?
Yes.
How many times?
I had not used it in a live case yet. This was our first chance to do this, but I had done it a number of times in our training examples.
But the first time you've done it in a live case?
Yes.
Can you state for the jury what is the difference between a live case and any other case?
There really is no difference. The training examples are hands-on, and the process we follow through all those examples to establish competency is exactly the same way we do it for any other investigation.
Yeah, and so what he's saying is that in training they use videos as well, and they use the same way that they did it now. They did it before, so it makes no difference at all. If you learn how to add 1 + 1, it's gonna be the same if you do it in a book or if you're counting your Legos or something like that. It's the same.
So if they're pretty much the same, why is it a need for the title live if they're pretty much the same?
It was just a term I used to say this was the first investigation we've used it in.
Yeah.
So were the other cases just pretty standard cases then, not live investigations?
They were training examples that came from actual investigations that those agencies gave permission for their case files and their data to be shared as a training example and to recreate their examinations.
So they weren't active investigations to the best of your knowledge?
Correct. They were adjudicated.
So this time that you used this technology was the first time to your knowledge that it was during a live investigation?
Yes.
He already said that.
So would it be fair to say that that's like the first time it's being used?
No. He already said that he used it before. It's the first time that's been used on a case that is ongoing, but he already used it.
In the city of Waukesha or in general? I'm not sure I'm understanding.
Fair
Is
enough.
it fair to say that this specific investigation was the first time that you've used it?
Did I personally use the software or that
Yes.
somebody has used it?
You.
This was the first time I personally used the software, as our agency recently purchased it, and this was the first case we were able to use it on.
And so would it be fair to say that usually anyone's first time using new technology, there would be a learning curve? Would that be fair to say?
It's not, he's confusing terms. It's not the first time that he uses it. It's the first time that he uses it on a live case. You can tell that he didn't finish high school because he's asking questions that he shouldn't have.
I would say no.
No?
So you would say you came right into using this new technology the first time you've ever personally used it and knew exactly how to work it?
I would say over my career, especially with conducting digital forensic examinations, I had over 1,500 hours of training in various aspects. I'm a certified trainer. I hold a certified forensic computer examiner certification through the International Association of Computer Investigative Specialists, along with other certifications as well. I obtained multiple certifications from InputAce, the company that put on the training for this process, for this device, for video analysis, and we tend to follow principles throughout all the different disciplines, and the training's quite intensive, quite difficult, so over that time you develop the skills necessary to be able to start using software, using your techniques to do these investigations right away.
You're stating some pretty nice credentials there, but you also just said that there's some difficulty in the training.
Yeah.
Would any of that difficulty lean towards the learning curve of working the software?
In my opinion, for myself, no.
No. Yes, you struggle to learn, but once you learn it, it's easy to do. Like, why would me struggling to add in elementary school translate to me right now trying to do multiplication? I already struggled through that. I'm good now.
So you pretty much can come into new technology and just know exactly how to work it. You're just ready to go.
Objection, argumentative, and
Grounds.
answered.
Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer it.
This particular, if we're talking strictly about video analysis, I attended a 40-hour class using the software Input ACE along with forensic video analysis at the National Computer Forensic Institute, run by the Secret Service in Alabama. And then I also obtained several certifications through Input ACE themselves. So having approximately 80 hours in training through the video software, this was not much of a learning curve, as I had previously been using Input ACE software for approximately 2 years.
The way that the witness is trying so hard to tell Darrell, look, buddy, I know what I'm talking about. I have all the credentials, all the knowledge. I can cross you in basically anything. Leave it. And he continues to punch on to his nonsense point.
So this new technology was a variation of, well, let me back up a bit. What you're saying is this new technology was a variation of technology that you had already previously been using.
Objection. This characterizes the evidence.
Grounds.
This is not new technology.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question. You may re-ask.
No, don't tell him that. You're gonna keep asking nonsense.
Before using this technology in this live investigation, as you coined it, have you previously heard of this technology before using it in this live investigation?
Yes.
Yes.
2 years.
Any idea how long it may have been being used before you used it?
He just told you that he spent like 80 hours training on it. Are you even listening?
To my best knowledge, it's been around for several years. We first started investigating it in approximately January.
January of 2022?
Yes.
You are aware that this live investigation would have been a live investigation in November of 2021. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
So it will also be fair to say that if your department didn't start using this technology until January of 2022, how were you able to use it in November of 2021?
This was not conducted in November of 2021. Once we learned about methods when we were trying to locate a more scientific way to do a speed analysis, I discovered this method, the training that the company put on. We had to obtain budgetary funds. It was approximately $4,000. Then we had to schedule the training. The training was supposed to be earlier in the spring, and a couple of the instructors came down with COVID, so the classes got pushed back to summer. They had provided me with all the online training videos so that I could go through, watch those, start prepping myself as much as I could, and then this summer we actually had the class with the hands-on examples, and that's when they provided the certification. And after that is when we actually went out and were able to do the speed analysis based on the videos that we had from November 21st.
Yeah, he thinks that because the officer didn't start the investigation until later on, if it didn't happen in November, it doesn't matter because it's too late. It doesn't work like that, Brooks. The investigation is still ongoing until the case is over.
So the bulk of your learning to work this technology was done via video.
Video and live instruction.
And that live instruction was in the summer, as you stated, correct?
Some of it was, they don't do it all in one segment, so it was completed with an instructor between, I believe, May and the beginning of August.
So when did you, around what time did you do this analysis?
I believe I performed the actual analysis somewhere around the middle of August. I can't remember the exact date.
So pretty recent.
Yes.
Any idea why so long, considering that this matter has been going on for roughly a year?
Objection, asked and answered.
Yeah, he just told you that it was because the COVID and the funding and the preparation and all of that. He just told you why. Why are you asking again?
Grounds.
The last 3 to 5 minutes.
Grounds.
Overruled. You may answer.
What?
We just wanted to make sure that we had all the proper equipment, the proper training, all the proper documentation, certifications for myself and the device before we went out and did the actual analysis.
So your department thought it would be best to hold off on the analysis until you got everything in order.
Yes, until we had the certifications to make sure they were valid.
Sometimes you can see the face of the officer being like, "What are you asking me? Are you seriously asking me this? Because I fail to get why."
Would it be fair to say that that's a pretty lengthy amount of time to wait to do an analysis in a case that's a pretty big case?
Yes, it's a pretty big case. They made sure that they have everything ordered. He could have done the calculations the day before he came to testify. It doesn't matter when. It only matters that he knows.
No, I would not say that.
Have you ever had that sort of delay before in any other live investigations?
I can't recall specifically if there's been something that delayed our analysis of another piece of evidence, another investigation, but there is a delay to sometimes purchasing equipment for a new piece of technology or a new type of training. When we start talking about digital forensics, we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars for equipment and often anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 for a week long of training for something particular.
So there's a delay because of the financial part of the investigations, or I'm not sure I'm getting with.
Sometimes there can be.
Any idea how that might apply to this live investigation?
Why are you talking about this investigation? You asked in general about other stuff, and now you're bringing it back to this investigation. You're all over the place, Brooks.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
No
How
one does.
the financial part of the equipment, and as you said, sometimes things can get expensive. Would that apply to this live investigation of why the delay was so long?
Objection,
Grounds.
relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. You may answer.
Why you keep letting me?
Yes, I believe in January, again, is when we first started looking at this. We had to obtain the funding, schedule the training, wait for the company to host the training and all of those things before we were ready to proceed with it.
Do you recall who you were referred to do the analysis?
As far as
Basically who tapped you to do it? I'm quite sure you're not the only person that does what you does out of your department. Would that be fair to say?
no, that would not be fair. I am currently right now the only one certified in forensic video analysis.
So who tapped you to be the video analysis for this particular case?
I was the only one at our agency that would be able to perform that at this time.
Who contacted your agency?
Detective Casey.
Yeah, he's like, we are all part of the same police department. We talk to each other. Who do you think that he thinks that he volunteered to do it somehow?
And who does Detective Casey work for from your knowledge?
City Waukesha Police Department.
To the best of your knowledge, was Detective Casey made aware that it would be a long delay before the analysis can get completed?
Yes, we had discussions about it.
Was Detective Casey informed that it would be such a lengthy delay?
Yes.
Objection, asked and answered.
Grounds.
Overruled. You may answer.
What? Why are you lit? I'm so confused by Judge Darrell right now. Like, he's been asking the same question basically 3 to 4 times, and she keeps getting away with it. Tell him to move on.
Not initially. Again, this was supposed to be done a lot earlier in the year. However, due to the limited number of classes they have scheduled, where they're scheduled, and the fact that COVID unfortunately canceled a couple of the classes, that did increase the delay, which I did have conversations with Detective Casey about, advising him that it would be a little bit longer.
Were there any, I guess I would say, suggestions that maybe you could use a different technology that wouldn't have caused such a long delay?
Not for video analysis, no.
So what video analysis were you doing before this new technology that you just started using?
This technology was specific to speed analysis.
So there was no technology specific to speed analysis before this new technology?
Not that I'm trained in, no.
So would there have been someone else tapped to do the analysis if it wasn't for this new method?
I was concerned with video analysis, and I'm the only one at our agency that can conduct video analysis at this time. As far as other methods outside of digital forensics or forensic video analysis, I wouldn't have any expertise or knowledge to speak on those.
I'm a little confused because
You are 100% confused, not a little. He has no idea what he's talking about or what he's even asking about.
do you do video and speed analysis or one of the other? Because you just stated, and I think it would be fair to ask, did you just not state that this was pertaining to speed analysis?
Yes, I do video analysis for all types of cases, whatever is requested. I am trained to measure speed from strictly video analysis. I am not trained to estimate speed through other means of investigation.
So how were you able to come up with an analysis of the speed in this investigation?
Because he trained for
Based
it.
on the technique that I described earlier in my testimony of using the 3D scanning software, overlaying the video of the suspect vehicle traveling westbound on Main Street, plotting the points, and then measuring the distance over the time.
Like, he had to say that all over again. Like, he's retestifying what he already said.
Was there any other method? Well, let me back up. Was there any other technology that you could have utilized that same method without a delay?
Objection asked.
Ground.
Sustained.
Finally.
You stated that you've done speed analysis numerous times. Would that be fair to say?
In what regards? In what example?
To any cases before this one?
In training, yeah.
In training examples, not in an investigation done by our agency.
Right.
So it'd be fair to say you yourself haven't done very many speed analysis.
I couldn't give you a firm number of how many we did in training over that time, but no,
Not we, you. I'm asking specific to you yourself.
outside of this current investigation, I have not currently performed any for any other agency yet, no.
So would it be fair to say that maybe you could have been off on a few of your analysis, being that it was your first time doing it in a live investigation, as you coined it?
I hate his facial expressions trying to be like, you may have been wrong, right? because it's not the first time that he keeps going back to you never used this before. It's the first time. It's like, I just grabbed this controller for the first time and I don't know how to use it. He knows this. He trained with this. Jesus.
No, I would not say that.
Grounds.
Hold on. What's the objection?
Calls for speculation and argumentative.
Grounds. Better grounds than that.
Mr. Brooks, what was your question again?
My question was that would it be fair to say that since he's stated that this was his first time doing a speed analysis in a live investigation, and he hadn't done it before, would it be fair to say that maybe he could have been off a little bit on his calculations, being that it was his first time?
Overruled. He may answer.
I would say no to that. With this, again, we're following the premise of digital forensics. It's a scientific process. We learn a technique. We follow the process. We follow the standards. It's designed to be verifiable and repeatable by anybody else that would have that training and that software performant. The files can be turned over to another person with equal training, and they should be able to walk step by step and still come to the same conclusion. So I would say I'm confident in the speed that was obtained.
So
Yeah, he uses a scientific method, Brooks. It's repeatable, it's verifiable, it's scientific. It does have some margin of error, which he said we watched around a mile of margin of error, but that's it. And a mile is not going to change your fate.
if someone else can come to the same conclusions that you came to, is it fair to say that someone else a little more experienced could have been tapped to do the speed analysis instead of yourself?
We didn't have anybody more experienced in this area or our agency for this particular method.
Is it possible that a different agency could have been tapped to do the speed analysis?
This is outside of the witness's
Grounds.
personal knowledge.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Yeah, and who cares if someone else could have done it? Like, he's gonna say that Detective Casey wasn't the only one that could have done the investigation. He was the one assigned to do it, so he's gonna do it.
Besides yourself, do you know of anybody that can do this analysis and come to the same conclusions as yourself?
I know of the company that provided the training. Other than that, I do not know anybody personally in this area or other investigators to use this specific technique.
All right.
Would it be fair to say that you weren't the only one being trained through video and the like?
So what he wants now is that someone from Morocco come to Waukesha and do the speed analysis just because he doesn't like this guy doing it. Oh, God.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
No one does.
You stated that you had to be trained in this form of doing the analysis. You stated the classes were, I think, from somewhere from May to August, you stated. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
What I'm asking is, were you the only person that was taking those classes?
There were people from other countries, other states, wide ranges of specialties, paralegals, accident reconstructionists, forensic investigators, things of that nature.
Anybody in Wisconsin that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
From any other departments that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of.
So it would be fair to say that you're not sure.
I don't know who has exactly what piece of software in each location, but I have not heard of anybody else in this area having the ability to do the speed analysis through video.
So it would be fair to say you're not sure.
As to, can you clarify one more time, please?
I was pretty direct.
But he's asking you to clarify. Do it.
As far,
He doesn't understand your question. That's why he's asking.
did you know of anyone else that was taking the same training to operate the same equipment and technology that you were?
Personally, no, if that's what you're asking.
So it would be fair to say that you're not sure.
I can say with confidence that nobody in the classes that I was enrolled in were from the state of Wisconsin. There were people from other countries, other states. That's really all I would know about that. I don't.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Typically during our classes, we go through an introduction, where we work, where we're from, where we work, who we work for.
So it's kind of like, because you did state that they were kind of like video, so I'm assuming that would be online. Would that be fair to say?
It was live online training, yes.
So it would pretty much be like a classroom from an online setting.
Objection asked and answered, and I would, well, relevance.
Yeah, who cares?
It's been asked and answered, so sustain. Next question.
About how long did it take when you started to do the analysis? How long did it take from the point that you started into completion?
To put everything together, and it wasn't worked on all at the same time because we had to do the camera overlay. We had to go get the readings from the variable frame light board and then start putting all that together. I would say hours wise, I would say probably someplace between 20 and 24 hours to put it all together.
So about roughly a day.
Well, work days probably 3 days or so.
And would it be any reason why you, if you knew that you were being certified for that analysis, would it be any reason why you wouldn't start getting things in place beforehand to be ready to go as soon as you needed to be ready to go?
I had the surveillance videos that we were using from Bosco Social Club in place. I asked Specialist Platt and Specialist Schmidt to assist with the 3D scanning prior to having the last certification in place, so that everything was there and ready to go once I had that certification.
So it would be fair to say that you had help in getting everything ready.
Yeah.
With the 3D scan.
Were you at any time trained in the 3D scanning?
I am not currently trained in the operation of the Faro. That's why I requested
Yeah.
Specialist Platt and Specialist Schmidt to perform that scan.
It's a team. It's a department. Everyone has a different position and they help each other. And that's why he didn't do it himself. It's good.
Do you know if those two specialists, I missed the name, so I don't want to butcher them, so I'm just not going to say it, but it'd be fair to say it was two. Would that
Yes.
be fair? Were any of those two trained in the same speed analysis training as yourself?
No, they are trained in forensic crime scene mapping using the 3D scanner, not digital forensics or video analysis.
Would it be fair to say that even though they are not trained in the same area as yourself, that they were an essential key part to putting everything together?
Sure.
The 3D scanning software is an essential function to be able to perform this particular analysis, yes.
So it would have been, it's fair to say it would have been a task if you would have had to do it by yourself.
He couldn't do it by himself. He didn't have the training. He would have had to take that training as well, and it would have taken longer.
I wouldn't be able to perform the analysis without the 3D scanning.
Did that in any way cause any delay?
No.
No, because they already had the scanning.
Do you recall about what date you started the analysis?
I
Asked and answered.
Rounds.
Overruled, he may answer.
believe the 3D scanning took place on the early morning hours of, I want to say, August 10th. when I had Specialist Platt and Schmidt perform the 3D scan, they went back downtown early in the morning to try and do it when there was little vehicles as possible on the roadways so that it wouldn't interfere with the actual diagram scan. I want to say the last certification was obtained somewhere right around August 16th, and then it was putting everything together afterwards.
I'm sorry, did you state the last certification was obtained around August 16th?
The last training class, yes.
So at the time that you started, you weren't yet certified.
I had
He did. He's confusing the timelines. He asked the other people to go and do their thing, and then when he was done doing his certification, he started. Different.
not started anything as far as the speed analysis prior to that.
Why would you be starting the prep for the analysis if you were not yet certified?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
You just stated that the preparations to do the analysis started around August 10th. Is that correct?
The preparations by Specialist Platt and Specialist Schmidt as to the crime scene mapping was done on August 10th.
So when did you come into the fold to start doing your part of the analysis?
My part of the analysis originally began with just simply reviewing the video, learning what video would be best, what frames I would want to use, which I obtained my training from the National Computer Forensic Institute in video analysis in April of 2021, and went back through the same training through Input Ace and was already certified through them. So I was already certified for the video analysis portion of itself. The only thing I was waiting on was the materials necessary for the actual speed calculations.
And when did you receive those materials to do that part?
The certification was obtained on, I believe, right around August 16th. I can't remember if it was that day exactly, but...
But it is fair to say that you had already started work before the date of August 16th.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
So when did you actually start to do the
Oh my
analysis? What date was that?
Same objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Yeah, move on. Who cares?
Do you know about the date that you completed your analysis?
I believe it was somewhere around August 23rd, 22nd, 23rd.
So it'd be fair to say roughly about a week or so?
Roughly, yes.
And do you recall when you actually turned in the analysis information?
I believe it was around August 23rd, right around there.
Yeah, you're
And do you recall who you turned the analysis information into?
I turned it into my supervisor, who then electronically forwarded it to the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office.
Any idea how long it took for it to be viewed?
No, I do not know.
Also, remember when he said that we were going to do a brief cross-examination? It's been almost 40 minutes. And I
At the point that you started your
I cut this down. It was longer, but I cut it down because it takes so long between each question.
part of the analysis, did you still need the help of the other two people from your department?
No.
So once you started, it was just yourself.
Yes.
And you were confident that you were fully trained, you wouldn't have any hiccups working this technology for the first time.
It's not the first
Correct.
time.
You were pretty sure that you would get everything on point.
Yes.
Did. He's an expert.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Any redirect.
Thank you. The video in question from Bosco's Social Club was recorded during the Christmas parade on November 21st of 2021. Is that correct?
Yes.
You went to Bosco's in August to obtain that video, correct? Or I should say, you obtained that video and then in August conducted your speed analysis with it, right?
Yes, that's correct.
August of 2022.
That's fair. August 2022. I stand corrected. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you were to clean slate, take that video file, start your calculations here today, would you come to the same conclusion in terms of miles per hour over those 26 frames?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay.
Hearsay. You are calling the expert that did this whole analysis on hearsay. It's not. He did the calculations himself. We've been talking about it for an hour.
Overruled his answer, and I stand.
The software that we're talking about is called Input Ace.
Correct. It started off Input Ace in, I believe it was the earlier part of this year, Axon. They also make tasers, body cameras, things like that. They purchased the company. Now it's called, the software is called Axon Investigate. At the start of this, it was called Input Ace.
You're certified to conduct speed analysis using that software?
Yes.
This case is not the first time that you use that software, is that correct?
Correct.
Overruled. You asked him questions about that, so he gets to redirect. You may answer.
Correct.
You use the software to conduct speed analysis on prior occasions, right?
Yes.
As part of your training.
Yes.
Your training involves using the Faro 3D scanning tool, correct? Well,
No,
That was not
He
stated.
hasn't provided the answer. So rephrase your question, please.
sure. During your training to use the Input Ace software, did you follow the same procedure in terms of using the Faro 3D scanning?
Objection. That's hearsay.
Overruled. Not hearsay. Go ahead.
the procedures were the same. However, during training examples, throughout the country, there's different 3D crime scene scanners out there. Trimble, Leica, Faro, Total. They use various different ones during the training examples of what they had set up. The software worked similar. The methods were the same, regardless of which 3D scanner you use.
Okay. And as a result of that training and the multiple times that you used this software to conduct speed analysis, you obtained a certification, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you the first person to testify about speed analysis using the Input Ace software in any court in this country?
No.
Object.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
So when reference was made during cross-examination about this being new, air quotes, software or new technology, is that an accurate description of the technology?
No. It's
Objection.
not.
I was referring it to it being new to him, strictly to
Your
himself.
objections noted. His answer may stand. Next question, please.
Is this this technology, the software program Input Ace, used exclusively by law enforcement?
No, it's not.
Who else uses it?
Accident reconstructionists, insurance companies, defense attorneys, law enforcement. It's available to anybody that provides payment, goes through the training, things of that nature.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
And that's it. That's Darrell spending almost an hour on his very brief cross-examination. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that you're great, that you matter, and that I'm really happy that you guys are here. You guys meant a lot to me, and your support is incredible. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.